Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shintaro Kobayashi. Today, I'd like to talk about the usage status of Cobb cafeteria in立命館 University. First of all, do you usually use Cobb cafeteria? I often use it for breakfast and lunch. It has many attractive services. For example, 100 yen breakfast, free breakfast, and a special menu for the confrontation with another university. However, recently, I often hear students say C-Cube is better than Cobb cafeteria. Also, COVID-19 virus damaged its sales greatly. In fact, its sales in 2020 are a quarter of that in 2019. Also, the number of users of meal system was very few in 2020. I choose this topic in order to find a way to contribute even a little. I have two purposes of this research. The first is to analyze the interrelation between utilization and satisfaction. The second is to think about what is effective for BKC cafeteria with external conditions. Simply put, high customer satisfaction should correspond to high sales. So, I made a hypothesis that utilization and satisfaction are proportional. First, in order to get actual utilization data, I did a survey to 45 students. Please look at this pie chart. This graph shows the result of the first questionnaire about the usage rate for 100 yen breakfast. According to this graph, only 40% of them use it. Since I wondered why this rate is so low, I asked reason to them. This graph shows it. According to this graph, we can say that the main cause is they can't get up early in the morning. Certainly, the service opens from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. So we have to get up early in the morning to use it. Other reasons given were not eat breakfast and served by residents. Next, please look at this pie chart. This graph shows the result of the second questionnaire about the usage rate for lunch. According to this graph, no less than 80% of them use it. Meanwhile, other 20% of use kitchen case and convenience stores for lunch. Second, in order to get satisfaction data, I interviewed 3 students about their honest opinions for Cobb cafeteria. There were some positive opinions. For example, first, the system of 100 yen breakfast is very good for students who live alone. Especially, this system can support them in terms of nutrition and money. Second, the weekly change of menu is an enjoyable event for them. Third, limited menu at a specific restaurant can motivate them to go to Cobb cafeteria. However, there were some negative opinions. For example, the price of vegetables is too high, and price difference by size is too large, and even if they order larger size, they feel that only the amount of rice has increased. Also, time to wait is too long for the length of lunch break. That the number of complaints beyond my expectation was very impressive. Third, I carried out an experiment in order to research about external conditions. I focused on efficient, money, and time allowance that comes from class schedule and location and so on. Then, I decided to review the differences of these factors in each case eating at places other than Cobb cafeteria. I chose C-Cube, convenience stores, off-campus restaurant, and lunch workshops. I actually ate lunch at each of them. Due to the length of lunch break and class schedule, I brought food I bought in advance to the university in the case of convenience stores. This table shows the differences of external conditions. At first, I'll explain about means of these factors. In terms of nutrition, I compared it in one general meal because I couldn't check it except for Cobb cafeteria. Based on it, I evaluated on a scale of 3. Money means how much it cost when I ate. Time means how long it took before I started eating. I excluded evaluation target of taste because it contains subjectivity. According to this table, we can say that the strength of Cobb cafeteria lies in its ability to provide meals with nutritional balance every day. That we can check the nutritional value per meal is also the strength of Cobb cafeteria. In conclusion, I found that the usage rate and satisfaction are not necessarily proportional from the result of survey and interview. It was contrary to my hypothesis. Also, from the result of the experiment, I found that it is nutrition that Cobb cafeteria can differentiate itself from other methods. From this result of survey and interview and experiment, I think that the most effective way to raise the popularity of Cobb cafeteria is to increase opportunity to appeal to students about the importance of nutritional balance. Also, since a lot of these campus students live alone, it is quite difficult for them to assemble well-balanced diet every day. So this approach must be effective. As a reflection of this project, though I could deepen my knowledge about BKC cafeteria, I couldn't compare it with other campuses. Since location around Zen is very different from other methods, location around Zen is very different from that of BKC, I think that each of students' behavior for lunch would be very different. Also, the grades of answers for new questionnaires was very narrow. So when I have another opportunity, I want to research with these points in mind. Thank you for listening.